Hello everyone, this is Jessica Brigden of Jess B Creative Cardiology. Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday to you and happy September 2nd. Oh my goodness, we are in a new month already and I did not have time to pre-record videos like I had planned before we left on our vacation. And so I am doing this hoping that the internet holds. Where we are, we do not have great internet connection, and so I really hope that that this will hold, and I'll do the best that I can. And because it is September, it's a new month, there is a lot going on, and so I did want to touch base with all of you. As you can tell, I didn't get my videos done, but I did get my nails done. I mean, you gotta have priorities, right? After all, I mean, I wanted to look good for our vacation and treat myself a little bit. All right, so yes, lots going on in September. I just sent out my newsletter that's kind of got a recap of everything in it, so be sure to check your inbox. And if you haven't subscribed to my newsletter yet, there is a link to sign up for that in the comments here of this video. But we have 12 new items that have been discounted as part of Stampin' Up's weekly deals. So they are introducing new items every week. So the first set of 12 items will go from the 1st through the 7th. The second set will be introduced on the 8th of September. Then there'll be another set on, so 1, 8, the 15th, and then the 22nd. Hi Carolyn, hi Donna, hi Sue. All right, great. So glad to know that a few of you can at least see me and hear me. Like I said, my internet connection is a little bit sketchy, and so doing the best that we can. Hi Sue. All right, hi Wendy. I'm doing great. Thank you. I'm glad you like the nails. I think the color was called Tutti Frutti. They actually had a color, there was something with lobster in the name, which I thought would be fitting for our Maine trip, but it was a little too red for me, and I'm a little more of a pink girl, not so much red. Hi Polly. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, so I was just talking about a few of the specials going on for September. 11 to 13 different items introduced as part of the weekly deals each week. So this week is 12 items. All right, and I did include a snapshot of those here in my newsletter as well as on my Facebook page. You can check those out in the online store. Stampin' Up! Has also introduced 6 new die sets as part of what they're calling the Perfect Partners promotion. And so these die sets coordinate with stamps that are already in the annual as well as the mini catalog. My personal favorite is the Apple Harvest bundle. All right, so Stampin' Up! Has combined these into a bundle. And if you purchase, of course, the bundle pricing there, you get the 10% discount. So we have the Apple Harvest, we have the fresh cut stems. Then there are the piggies. I know a lot of people like the cute little piggies. Trimming the tree bundle. There is a Waterfall Canyon bundle. I did order that. There's a lot of pieces. That looks a little intimidating, I'll admit. But I did order that, and I'm excited for it to arrive. And I thought that perhaps that would be fun to coordinate for my trip to the Norwegian fjords. That might be kind of cool. And then, of course, we have Yeti to party. So some fun bundles there. All right, and then something new. Stampin' Up! Is doing a World Card Making Day event. It's a free event. It's virtual. There is a registration if you want to be like up to date and receive some emails, but it's free to everyone. That will be on Saturday, October 1st at, I believe it's 2 p.m. Mountain Time, which for those of us on the East Coast, that'll be 4 p.m. Eastern Time. It's approximately a 3-hour event, and they will be using the 3 bundles shown here: the Cottage Rose bundle from the annual catalog, the Cottage Wreaths bundle from the mini catalog, and then they've introduced a brand new bundle called Warm Welcome. Again, I was only able to order this on September 1st, so I did put it in order, and it should be at my door waiting for me when we get home from vacation. So I'm excited for that. So these are the 3 bundles that Stampin' Up! Will be using on those projects for November 1st. Hey Terry, welcome, welcome. So the cool thing with this, of course, you can use whatever products that you have on hand. But if you purchase any of these 3 or all 3 or whatever you want to do, Stampin' Up! Is gifting a free pack of iridescent pearls. Okay, so there is a little catch. And Terry, thank you for your online order earlier today. Maybe you can attest to it. If you add one of these bundles to your online shopping cart in the store, you do also need to add the item number for the pearls. That is 158987. For some reason, there's a little glitch and the pearls are not being automatically added to your cart in the online store. I hope Stampin' Up! Gets that fixed ASAP. But in the meantime, no, if you purchase one of these bundles or any of them, you will get a free pack of iridescent pearls. And for right now, you do need to make sure that you enter the item number in the online store. It's a little bit different for demonstrators. If you are doing a demonstrator order, it's a different ordering system, and they've got them automatically added to our carts there, but for some reason the online store isn't quite working like it's supposed to yet. Meanwhile, I do have a new host code for September, BJS3EWXG. So thank you for those. Okay, so let's get started. So I did a little bit of a minimalist packing, you might call it. So for our trip, I'll actually show you what I brought with me. I packed a 31 large zipper pouch. I put some items in there, and then I packed one of Stampin' Up's kit collection boxes. And this has a kit and a few other goodies in there, but this is all I brought with me. And in between the box and my zipper pouch, I was able to fit my Stampin' Up! My mini trimmer. I know this is not an item we can order anymore, but it was the perfect size to pack in my little bag. Okay, so Terry confirms that you do have to add the iridescent pearls to your order, but somewhere there should be a pop-up that tells you that. Okay, good thing. Terry, thank you so much. And I'm glad that you caught that so that you got your free pearls too. The iridescent pearls are one of my favorites. They're really pretty. So I brought my mini trimmer, and then I brought a stamp set. I brought my go-to greetings because I had a little bit of variety of everything. And then I prepped a couple of what I'm calling like little workshop packets. I used our 6x8 cello bags, and I prepped them with some cardstock and some necessary supplies. And then I've got my chamois, a package of dimensionals, or a sheet of dimensionals, excuse me, my Stampin' Seal, my snips, and I brought a Night of Navy. I actually brought a couple little ink spots with me, but Night of Navy is what I'll use here today. So I'm gonna let you in a little secret. In our haste to pack and the craziness of everything going on, I have not yet made a anniversary card for David. And tomorrow, Saturday, September 3rd, is our 21st wedding anniversary. So what I had planned to show you though, so I'm gonna use this and I'm going to make an anniversary card out of this. But I thought I would show you guys a fun technique card, something a little bit different. But when I was in the grocery store the other day, of course, we're coming up, this is a 3-day weekend here in the US. And so I know a lot of people will be doing barbecues and all that fun stuff. And so at the supermarket, I spotted these fun little paper napkins. They're the like 4x4, the cocktail napkin size. But they had the lobsters and the crabs on them. And so I thought that these would be perfect for our Maine trip. So I'm gonna make a card in commemoration for our trip to Maine using these fun paper napkins. So there are several different techniques out there, and actually a lot of them are kind of messy. They involve saran wrap and an iron. They involve heat and stick powder and glue, and honestly, the ones I've tried, they're kind of a mess. So I had an idea to use Stampin' Up's adhesive sheets. Now, you know, these are 6x12 sheets, and I've cut a few sections. All right, I cut my 6 by 12 sheet into 4-inch sections here so that I could use them for today's project. Oh, hello, Polly in North Carolina. Hey, Gladdy. So we are going to do my quick and easy version, the no mess, no fuss version of the paper napkin technique. So we're using our fun paper napkin in lieu of designer series paper. Okay, so the trick with this, no matter what napkin you use, usually they are a 2-ply, which means they're printed on one side and then they're white on the other side. So the tricky part, and hopefully, yeah, there we go. Good thing with my new nails here. All right, can you guys see that? If you kind of wrinkle up by the corner a little bit, that helps to separate the edges. And you want to slowly peel apart. And we are going to separate the white backing from the printed layer. So we're going to do the whole thing. All right. So just slowly work that off because you don't want to tear it. Of course, you know, it's napkin. It's very, very lightweight, tissue thin paper. So we're gently peeling off that white layer. Okay, whew, got it, and I didn't tear it or anything. All right, so what I'm going to do here is we're gonna spread this out. Okay, so you could essentially decide what section of the napkin you wanted to use. This print is pretty much even, you know, symmetrical on all 4 corners. Sometimes the napkins will have like a center print, so that'll kind of depend on where you want to position things. But I've cut some basic white cardstock to 4 by 5 1/4. So I've cut it to card front size. And then I've cut my adhesive sheets. Hi, Carmen. Hello, hello. Hi, Linda. Welcome all. All right, so I've cut my adhesive sheets also to 4 inches. They're a little bit longer, they're 6, so I'm gonna have to trim that off later. But with the Stampin' Up! Adhesive sheets, they do come in little sections now. So we're gonna peel off these little, kind of the little wax backing here. And then we're going to, however you wanna do this, all right, we're going to adhere the paper right on top. Okay, so we're good to go there. So I will have to, what I'm gonna do here is just take a little bit of that wax, put it back on the edge here. So ideally you would cut it to size. I was in a hurry trying to pack, and so I just kind of prepped quick and easy, but bring in your trimmer. Okay, in this case I'm gonna slide that under, and I'm gonna just trim off that extra bit of adhesive there. Okay, so that way things don't get too sticky. So now I have a basic white layer. Hi, Carol, welcome. Basic white layer, and it's nice and smooth. And somewhere I had a bone folder packed in here that you could use in case you ended up, yes I do, in my little box. You can use that to, in case you ended up with any little bubbles or anything. Okay, so now I'm gonna take that and peel off the other layer. So I'm leaving, this is making the adhesive transferred right onto my cardstock. Okay, so this is just like peeling off the back of a dimensional. All right, that's why this is no mess, no fuss. It's just adhesive sheet and your napkin. And we're gonna flip this over so that we're putting our adhesive onto the wrong side, the back side of the napkin. All right, decide where you want it to go. And we are going to press down firm. Okay, go ahead, use your bone folder. Work out any edges that you might have. Look at that, flipped it over. It's nice and smooth. Now, if it's easy for you, go ahead and tear it. What you could do also, just use your snips here and gently trim off the excess. Now you notice I am leaving a little bit of space. All right, so you can still get another whole card. We'll do another one too, so I'll show you if you're just joining. All right, and then you're gonna take your trimmer. Now I will admit that a guillotine trimmer does work just a little bit easier for this, because you do get a nice smooth with the tissue paper being so thin. If you're using your Stampin' Up! The glider trimmer there, then I would say definitely add like an extra little sheet of cardstock or something behind it to support that tissue paper. But I'm trimming off all around the edges here, so that essentially we just have card front size, so that the whole thing is trimmed right down to 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and actually, to tell you what I worked with. So what I ended up doing, I brought some sheets of Pacific Point and I trimmed those down to 5.5 by 8.5. I brought Pacific Point and Real Red because I thought those matched my napkin colors really well. I brought some extra layers, and then of course the basic white layers. So I think for this first one, what we'll do, like I said, I brought a couple napkins so we can play around with this a little bit. So I think what we'll do, let's go with the Real Red to start with. All right, so our half sheet, our card base here is 5.5 by 8.5, and we're folding that in half to 4 1/4, just smoothing it out. All right, I think I'll do a contrasting layer here of the Pacific Point. So this is cut to 4 by 5 1/4. I'm gonna use my Stampin' Seal. Ooh. I put a brand new Stampin' Seal on here so that I would be good to go for the trip. All right, so we layer these up, and then, all right, so I already trimmed my paper, but I think I'm gonna trim it down a little bit again. We're gonna trim this whole thing down to 3 3/4 by 5. So if you've got any little extra hanging out, and I really should have done that before because I want essentially just 1/4 of an inch. So I'm gonna have to eyeball it with my little mini trimmer here. All right, trim off. Yeah, I think that's about 1/4 of an inch. That looks pretty good. All right, and then now I can fit that in here. So I want 3 3/4 by 5. Okay. Again, I think I did pretty good there. All right, it looks a little narrow, but we'll work with it. This is a limited supplies challenge. Okay, so then we'll put our adhesive on the back. You could, of course, add ribbon if you wanted to, or anything to dress it up, depending on the napkin that you are working with. We're gonna mount this right on the front. All right, isn't that cute? So you can use any paper napkin in lieu of Designer Series paper. Sometimes you get those fun party napkins and they're just so pretty that you don't want to throw them away, or they're too pretty. You save a couple out so that you don't put the drink marks on them. Hi Lori, welcome. And so then what I did is I also punched I pre-punched a couple of little basic white with the, this is the Lovely Label punch. And then we've got my go-to greetings here, so we can grab a fun sentiment, whatever works on here. Let's go ahead and we'll grab a thank you. We'll grab the medium thank you. And I need a block. Okay, so I did not pack a separate block. I packed the cute little Best Remedy kit. Thought maybe I'd make a video with that at some point here next week. All right, but because this is one of the all-inclusive kits, I knew it was coming with a block, and so that's actually what I planned to use. Like I said, minimal packing here. I squeezed everything I needed into one kit box, and then my And then my 31 large zipper, the large zipper pouch there. All right, so you guys have seen me when I do my paper pumpkin videos. Oftentimes I'll push the, I'll put my little ink spot aside and use my full-size pad. Well, this is why I save them for when we travel, because they are much easier to pack. So I'm just scoring the edge there of the sticker, the little perforated part for the ink spot. All right, to open those up. If you like the ink spots and you're not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you get an ink spot with most of the all-inclusive kits. So for example, the Best Remedy kit comes with, whoops, this is a Starry Sky. You can also purchase a collection of ink spots. It's kind of part of the Getting Started collection in the Stampin' Up! Online store, which gives you a nice little variety of colors too. But I thought that was, they're perfect. And look at that, stamped so nicely. Perfect for when you just want to pack a few supplies. I did throw a brand new sheet of dimensionals in here so that I would have those. Okay, so like I said, I didn't do any ribbon or anything super fancy. I do have a couple little strips of paper, just little 1/2-inch pieces of paper. So what I could do, essentially, I'm gonna just angle the edge a little bit. We're gonna eyeball that. I don't often do that, but we're gonna go for it. And I think it turned out okay. Just a little 1/2-inch strip, angled the edges with my snips. Put that on here. Look at that, put my punched piece on top. I got a little bit of adhesive on my knuckle. But there you have it. No muss, no fuss. Super easy paper napkin technique card. Hey Teresa, hello, hello. Yes, Lori, we are en route to our vacation. David had a couple of business meetings, so we're kind of taking our time getting up to Maine a little bit, but yeah, we're doing good. We are looking forward to having some lobster. That's pretty much our only itinerary. It's been a crazy few weeks and we just want to relax and enjoy, and so we're doing just that. Lobsters on the menu. Hello, hello. All right, so if you're just joining, and it seems like our connection is holding, which is great. So let's do that one more time. I still have, I brought another napkin with me, but we have the other section. All right, so again, this was just one of the, it's a 4x4 square, so 8x8 when it's unfolded, cocktail party napkins here. And we removed, that was the biggest part, we removed the second layer, that white tissue, okay, because napkins are usually 2-ply. To check on what you have, sometimes they might even be 3-ply, okay. So we're gonna do another one. I think we'll try to get the lobster image for the second card. So I'm gonna use Pacific Point half sheet here for the card base on this one. So 5.5 by 8.5. Fold that there at 4 1/4. All right, then we're going to use our layer of Real Red for some contrast. So this is cut to 4 by 5 1/4. We'll glue this right on. Okay, there we go. All right, and then our basic white. All right, so this is 4 by 5 1/4. I'm gonna have to trim that down, but we are taking that basic white piece. We are taking a section of the adhesive sheet. Again, these are 6-inch by 12-inch, and I cut them into 4-inch sections. All right, so we're gonna peel off the little wax paper. All right, so it's kind of like 3 sections on the one side. Okay, and then place this onto our basic white cardstock. All right, just kind of smooth that out, work it as you go. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit of this back. I'm gonna try not to get this table all covered in glue. All right, my fingers are a little sticky, but for the most part, this is no mess, no fuss here. This is a much easier way to do it. If you've seen older videos, or if you Google or even YouTube videos, for the most part, on how to do the paper napkin technique, a lot of times they'll have you do like this layer of saran wrap, and then you've got to iron it, or you have to work with some heat and stick powder, and you've got to melt it to make it sticky, and it's a pain in the butt, and it's a lot of mess. And I wanted to do an easy way of doing that, and our adhesive sheets are absolutely perfect for that. So decide which section of the napkin you want to use. I want to get this lobster in here, and so you do want to smooth that out a little bit. All right, we're gonna peel again the backing of the adhesive sheet that we put on here. So catch that wherever you can. Come on, there we go. All right, so you can even rub your bone folder over it if you want to make sure that that adhesive transferred to the cardstock really well. Okay, then peel up that, so you can peel this off, just the wax backing. All you have left on here is the adhesive sheet. Oh, it looks like, did I tear that? I think I'm okay. All right, then gently place this right where you want it to go. Just smooth that out. All right, we did good. You might end up with a couple little wrinkles, but that's okay. All right, then use your snips to kind of trim off some of this excess. All right, and then we're gonna pull in our trimmer. All right, I know this is a little cheating. I loved that when Stampin' Up! Offered our little guillotine trimmer here. Unfortunately, this is no longer for sale, but it's perfect for for travel. All right, and then we're going to trim off. Ultimately, I want this to be 3 3/4, so I'm going to trim off a little bit of the excess here. All right, that cuts off the excess napkin there too. For this one, I'm just going to go right along the edge. Okay, and then again, make sure at 3 3/4 here. Okay, perfect. So I managed to get the lobster on the front. Great. So I just want to make sure I don't want to cover up when I put the label on there. So, although I could position this a little bit different, we could have like the crab pinching the label down here. That might be kind of cute too. I think I'll go with that. So we'll put our adhesive on the back here. All right, adhere this onto our card base. All right, nice and smooth. Be gentle with this, okay? Because it is still tissue paper on the front. It's nice and smooth on there, but you don't want to be too rough because you don't want to accidentally tear it. All right, and then we've got our fancy label punch. I've got a little bit of Royal Red cardstock. That seemed to work out good when I snipped, just kind of angled the corners a little bit. Let's see, how much do I need so that I've actually, okay, make sure that that's longer than my punched piece. All right, we'll put a little bit of adhesive onto that. I'm gonna place it right between the claws here of our crab. and then, so this card, I think I'm gonna use this one for my anniversary card. And of all the things, I just brought one stamp set. I brought my go-to greetings. So I need to write a little happy anniversary on here. This is gonna be David's card. So we'll do a little happy anniversary on there. And then I'll put, because I did bring a couple extra layers of basic white so that I could write my love note to my honey on the inside. All right. And I think he'll think that's pretty cool. All right, a lobster card for our anniversary trip to Maine. All right, so I'm gonna write my little happy anniversary on there. I'll do the best that I can, and then I'll put my message inside. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Definitely give this technique a try. I know everybody's got some pretty party napkins in their junk drawer or the party supply closet somewhere there. And treat yourself to a little minimum supplies challenge. Again, I made just a little travel pack with our 6x8 envelope, a couple half sheets of cardstock here, some quarter sheets, some layers of basic white. Again, for this project, I used the adhesive sheets. I just cut that down because I needed everything to be able to fit in my little Stampin' Up! My Kit box. All right, so I cut it down into 4-inch sections so it wasn't 12 inches long. I pre-punched a few labels, and then I packed my party napkins. They were super fun. So see what you can find. Usually supermarket, especially like end of season, they'll clearance them, and you can get a whole package of envelopes, usually for like $1. And that's a fun technique to be able to use those pretty papers on your card. Of course, the same thing would apply if you were working with a scrapbook page, in which case if you were doing a 12-inch scrapbook page, the full sheet of adhesive would work really great for that. And you could use those party napkins. Oh, that would be fun, especially if you're doing like a milestone, a wedding shower or baby shower or anniversary or something like that. Those, fancy napkins you could use those and incorporate them in your scrapbook that way with the adhesive sheets using the same technique. But I hope you'll give it a try. This was my no mess, no fuss adhesive sheet paper napkin technique. All right, thank you all so much for the anniversary wishes. Love and hugs from David and I. We really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the cards. Yes, we are headed to Maine, Lori. We are planning to enjoy some lobster. That is what we're hoping. I don't know if it's still whale season or not. We're planning to take a lobster tour out and see how they catch the lobsters and all that stuff. So I don't know if we'll end up seeing whales on that trip or not, but we're excited. David has never been to Maine. I haven't been there since I was 17. And so it's fun to go north. This is our first northern beach trip for us. So thank you all so much. Happy stamping. Give this technique a try, and we'll stamp with you again soon. All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.